Welcome to Foglight Video Solutions. This video will detail how to import a certificate for the SQL Server PI repository. When the Foglight server is in FIPS compliant mode and the database cartridge version is 5.9.7.10 or higher, we need to import the certificate for the SQL PI repository into the key stores of the Foglight server, Database Agent Manager, where the database agents are running, and the PI Agent Manager, where the DB Oracle SPI repository, DB SQL Server SPI repository, and SSAS SPI repository agents are running. In this example, the SQL PI extension is added using the Agent Administration area from the Global View Database SQL Performance Investigator panel. Importing the certificate for the SQL Server PI repository would also be required if the SQL Server PI repository were added using the SQL Server or Oracle Database Installation Wizards. Full details on the steps to import certificates for database monitoring can be found in KB article 317939, which includes links to other articles specific for each database cartridge and the SQL Server PI repository. Specific commands used in this video are documented in KB article 326655. To begin, log into the Foglight console. In this example, we will import a certificate for the SQL Server PI repository and use a Windows Foglight Agent Manager and add the PI extension using the SQL Performance Investigator panel from the Database Agent Administration area. Importing database host certificates is covered in a separate video. From the Global View Databases dashboard, select an Oracle or SQL Server database agent and access the SQL Performance Investigator panel. Attempt to add the SQL PI extension by entering the SQL Server PI repository connection details. At this time, the FMS and FGLAMs do not have a certificate in the key store for the SSL connections to the SQL Server PI repository. A pop-up appears with the error message that the SSL handshake has failed with an unable to find certificate chain error, indicating that the connection failed and the certificate should be imported into the key store. Open a command prompt and navigate to the FMS JRE bin folder. Enter the command to run the keytool command and add the certificate location. For this example, I have placed the SQL_56.SIR certificate file for the SQL Server PI repository system in ctemp. The certificate has been imported. Next, navigate to the Agent Manager Agent Library folder for the Database Agent Agent Manager where the DB Oracle SPI repository, DB SQL Server SPI repository, or SSAS SPI repository agents will be installed. In this example, the FMS, Database Agents Agent Manager, and PI Repository Agent Manager are all located on the same server. The database cartridge must already be deployed to the Foglight Agent Manager for the lib folder to be present. Enter the command to run the batch file and add the certificate location. For this example, we will use the same certificate file that is located in ctemp. In Linux and Unix, an extra step to change permissions of the shell script may be necessary to run the script. The certificate has been imported. If the SQL PI repository agents were to be installed on a different agent manager, at this point we would now import the certificates in the Agent Manager Agent Library folder on the second agent manager as well. Now return to the SQL Performance Investigator panel and again attempt to add the PI extension to the agents. Select the radio button for where the agent manager where the SPI agents will be installed should be located. Add the connection details and log into the SQL Server PI repository. Then add the SQL PI schema details to either create a new PI repository database or use an existing PI repository database and click the Finish button. At this point, I've sped up the video for viewing convenience. After a few moments, the PI extension should be created and the SQL PI extension will be available in the database agent. To learn more about Foglight for databases, visit our support site at support.quest.com. For quick support questions, follow us at Quest Experts on Twitter.